What's up, my Central Unit? It's the Central Man here. So back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. Yeah, summer is officially over in September. I was planning to do this. Originally, I was planning to do it on Monday because that was really the last day of summer. Kind of forgot, so I'm doing it this review today. So yeah, this is the final stop of my classic SummerSlam series until next year. Before I get to this review, by the way, this week marks the 25th anniversary of the start of the Monday Night Wars and the first episode of Nitro. It'll be on Friday. I will do my predictions. Actually, Saturday I'll do my predictions for AEW All Out because it'll be a Sunday when All Out it'll be Saturday for in the US and Canada, but in Europe, UK and Europe will be on Sunday morning. The start of AEW. But I think it'll be Friday. Yeah, Friday I'll do my review of the very first episode of Nitro, and then Saturday morning will be my predictions of AEW All Out 2020. Anyway, so and also tomorrow will actually this is a format, and yeah, this is my format for the rest of the week. So yeah, today just right now I'm going to review SummerSlam 2000. That's the I just gave it away. And then probably tomorrow, probably review Monday Nitro, and then on Friday, Bash the Beach 2000, and then Saturday. Maybe I might still do it on Friday, but I'll probably do it on Saturday because Saturday will be my predictions of AEW's All Out 2020. So stay tuned for that, and also for All Out, my All Out 2020 predictions, Bash the Beach 2000 review, and my review of the first episode of Monday Nitro. Anyway, so this is my review of WWF Summerslam 2000 at the Riley Sports Arena. It's called. I think Riley Sports Arena. Right now it's called the PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, on the 27th of August 2000. Last weekend marks the 20th anniversary of this pay-per-view. The attendance for the show was 17,002. 17, not 70, 17,002. And the buy rate for SummerSlam of 2000 is a 570,000 pay-per-view buys, a decrease from the 1999 SummerSlam pay-per-view, because that buy rate for SummerSlam 99 got about, I think it's about 600,000 pay-per-view buys, because the main event of that show was Steve Austin defending the WWF Championship against Triple H and Mankind, with Jesse the Government Ventura, as the special guest referee. Anyway, so the last WWF 2000 pay-per-view I did was reviewing WrestleMania 16 or WrestleMania 2000. That was not a good show because really it was basically truly a one-match show because of the triangle ladder match. Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys. You got the triple threat for both the Euro and the Intercontinental Championship match between Angle, Benoit, and Jericho, and mostly of the main event between the four-way match between Triple H, Rock, Mick Foley, and Big Show. That was the ending was shit. The ending was fucking shit. I don't want to get into it. That was a bad show, WrestleMania 2000. This show, SummerSlam, I'll get to my final thoughts in the end. 2000 was really a successful year for the Attitude Era and also for the company because, Steve Austin was still recovering from neck injury. So basically, throughout mostly of 2000, The Rock was kind of like the top babyface at the time, carrying the company until Austin came back. And the top heel was Triple H. So anyway, the commentators for SummerSlam 2000 is Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. So the first match to kick off SummerSlam of 2000, we got a six-man tag team match. We got Too Cool That is Rikishi and yeah, Sky Too Hearty and the late Brian Christopher, Grandmaster Sexy, taking on the three members of Right of Censored. That is Stevie Richards, Bull Buchanan, and the Godfather, or that is now called the Good Father. This is the first pay-per-view appearance of the Right to Censor, or RTC for short. The reason why they're doing this because WWF was in a lot of shit by the Parents TV Council because of the stuff what they're doing on a regular basis, the attitude stuff with the sex and violence. So I think there were rumors like they were trying to, they're planning to shut down the WWF, trying to cancel Monday Night Raw or even SmackDown. So instead of like trying to tone down the shit, years later they'll tone down the product, in 2008 when it went PG. But what they do is they're basically trolling the PTC, the Parents TV Council. They call themselves the Right and Censor. The leader is Stevie Richards, Bull Buchanan. He was previously in another faction called the Truth Commission. That was basically a South African mercenary group from 1997. And also he previously was in the company. The Truth Commission. He was basically the big boss man's lackey for a cup of coffee, and then he part of the Right to Censor, and then years later he would become John Cena's bodyguard. He was B Square. That would be his next ring name. When Cena was, this is the first stage of Cena doing the Doctor of Thugonomics, the rapper gimmick. Anyway, so this match, and also you had Victoria, and I'm guessing this is Victoria's first pay-per-view appearance. I might be wrong. She debuted at one of the Godfather's hoes. So right now, basically like Godfather's basically turned on the dark side, and he's no longer the Godfather. He is the Good Father. And Victoria, Lisa Marie Ferron. I'll call her Ferron. She said in previous interviews that she was, before she became a pro wrestler, she was a bodybuilder, and then one day she saw Chyna in the gym, and then Chyna gave her a compliment, and then she decided to become a pro wrestler. And she debuted in the company later that year, really early that year, as one of the Godfather's hoes, and she'll later become one of the best, really the most underrated wrestlers in the company, not in pro wrestling, but in the company, because you don't really talk about, you don't see, you got old school wrestling fans talk about Victoria. She's one of the best female wrestlers of all time. I'd say top 4, top 5. Anyway, so yeah, this match was okay for what it is. It wasn't really a bad match, to be honest. This is gonna be a streak of okay matches. Like I said, I'll get to my final thoughts in the end. But they had the Good Father basically like shoving his former hoes to the ground, including Victoria. I think got one more of the match. Godfather was about to leave the ring, but Victoria pulled him and dragged him back into the ring. In the end, Stevie Richards basically hit I think it's called the Stevie kick. Because Sky Too High basically was trying to do the caterpillar, and Stevie Richards hit Scotty with the super kick to win this match. Makes sense because this is their first pay-per-view match. And also later on they'll bring Ivory and Foul Venus into the group. Yeah, they brought in the fucking cat. That was in the dying version. This was in the latter stages of that time as a group, because they sticked around for 1 year. The kind of disbanded in 2001. Anyway, so the opener was okay. Match number 2, we got Road Dogg Jesse James versus X-Pac. They were still members of DX. This was the time they were a heel faction under Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Under the McMahon-Helmsley era. There's no build up to this. Basically, talking about who's the better man. Basically, on a Raw. Basically, you had I think it was X-Pac or Road Dogg. I think of one of them. I think it was I think it was X-Pac, basically headbutt Road Dogg. One of them headbutt each one of them. Basically, I think it was Road Dogg. I might be wrong about this. I think Road Dogg. I think it was X-Pac hit headbutt Road Dogg in the head, and he kind of went through the fucking table. That was on the Raw. And then on a SmackDown, basically on the Go On show, I think it was Road Dogg basically turned to really ditch X-Pac, and I think it was in a tag team match. I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but so basically this is like a friendly competition. Not really. They're basically turning each other. So basically they're in cahoots with each other. Anyway, so this match, again, this was an okay match for what it is. In the end, Road Dogg was going for like the pop handle slam on X-Pac, but X-Pac basically low blow Road Dogg in the balls while the referee's not looking, and then hit the X Factor onto Road Dogg to score the victory. And then after that, he basically cut a promo, says, "Well, I'm the better man," and then Road Dogg had none of it, and basically hit X-Pac with the pop handle slam and leave. I don't know. I think like X-Pac was a heel, and Road Dogg was the babyface. Yeah, this was kind of like the beginning of the end of Road Dogg's time in the Federation. I'll get into it more shortly. I need a drink. Be right back. I'm back. So anyway, I'm guessing this is kind of one. I think he sticked around the Federation X-Pac. No, he sticked around until 2001. Sorry, my bad. You know, X-Pac. This is one of his final few pay-per-views before leaving the company in 2001. Yeah, he came back in 2002 to be part of the NWO. So anyway, yeah, it was just like, yeah, no build to this. It's basically like, I don't. It's basically like who's in cahoots. So anyway, it was an okay match. Road Dogg got the victory. The fans were again behind Road Dogg more than X-Pac. Don't get me wrong about X-Pac. He's over. You know, he's popular, but I think it's the time. I think I like his entrance. You know, he was still he's still playing. His entrance is basically the new age Outlaws entrance, because at the time the NAO the NAO, that stands for New Age Outlaws. You know, the Outlaws are no longer no more, because I think they kicked Billy out of the group because Billy suffered an injury. You know, it's basically Road Dogg's entrance music. I think it's more popular than X-Pac's theme music. And don't get me wrong about X-Pac. It's a B-rated version of DX theme. I'm not crapping on the themes, but it's just what it is. So moving on to match number 3. Match number 3, we got a mixed tag team match. We got the Intercontinental Champion Val Venis and Trish Stratus taking on Chyna and Eddie Guerrero. This was the time Eddie and Chyna did the whole Mamacita thing. Anyway, this is I might be wrong about this. This is basically the last time Val Venis become a single star before joining the Right of Censor. Anyway, so this is for the Intercontinental Championship. I'll explain a bit later. Anyway, so this match, same. This is us developing a streak of okay matches. This match was okay. Trish, she's not the ring general yet, but you know, you got 3 good workers. Val, Eddie, Chyna. You couldn't basically carry her to a good match. In the end, basically like Chyna hit like a military slam. I think it was a gorilla slam, you know, gorilla press, military slam onto Trish to score the victory, and Chyna becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. This is her second IC title win, because she won it a year ago against Jeff Jarrett at No Mercy of 1999. I think it's quite a house-made match. It's basically like a match is full of house-made items. and this is a second and last IC title victory. And then a month later, China and Eddie basically split up. I think I'm guessing this was the beginning of the end of this Mamacita storyline, because the off-screen relationship between China and Eddie. Because a month later, Eddie defeats China for the belt. I think it was on a Raw, and then they kind of split up because Eddie kind of cheated on China with one of the Godfather's hoes. It was basically the beginning of the end of China and Eddie. Basically it's a good relationship, a good storyline, because you got Eddie. Eddie's not like a main event yet. He became a main eventer in the years later in the Ruthless Aggression era, but he was starting off as a mid-carder. He was getting over. It's a damn shame because a few months later, I think it was 2001, got released got released from the company because of doing drugs. The DOI, and that's another story for another time. So it was an okay match, nothing special. That's match number 3. Match number 4, we got Taz versus Jerry the King Lawler. This got a storyline to this. This got build to this. I feel like the first 3 matches, there was no build to this. I feel like some of the matches was added to the last minute. Basically, the 2 weeks before SummerSlam on a SmackDown, Trish basically smashed I forgot to mention this. 2 weeks before SummerSlam 2000 on a SmackDown, Trish basically smashed I think it was a candy jar into the back of the head of China. That was building up to the next tag team match on the show. And then after the match, Trish basically foul blaming Trish for costing him losing the IC title belt, because Trish was the person who got pinned. And like I said, this was the beginning of the end of Val Venis as a single star. Before he would go to join the Righteous Census group, he became a single star years later in the Ruthless Aggression era. As Chief Morley, and also resuming as that gimmick, the porn gimmick. He was breaking away from the porn gimmick, and that really got him over doing the being the porn star gimmick. In those late 80s, 98, 99, before they changed up his gimmick in 2000. Anyway, so moving on to the match number 4. It was Taz versus Jerry the King Lawler, and this has got some build to this. Throughout the whole really weeks, basically had Taz really confronting the Raw commentary team, that is JR and the King, basically confronting them, and basically had Lawler, he really had Taz want JR to hit him, and he's refusing it. He doesn't want to hit him. And Jerry the King hit Taz, and then basically Taz attacked Lawler, basically locked him in the Taz mission. Then on the go home show to SmackDown, basically Taz smashed the fucking car window, the front car window. Actually, from the side car window is a white car. He smashed the side of the car window with JR in the car. He didn't really took the hit of the bat. It's not like Sami Callihan did to Eddie Edwards in 2018. No, basically he smashed the side of the car window. I'm guessing like JR, the glass kind of went into JR's face. Like on the throughout the show, he had this black eye and cuts around his, I think it was left or right eye. It really gives some Taz some heat. Anyway, this match, like I said, okay match. People are gonna say, this not good. No, I don't think it was that good. It wasn't like terrible. It wasn't like, it's cringy, botchy. No, it wasn't really botchy. I felt like some of the matches, the first 4 matches, some of them didn't have enough time, probably about 5 to 6 minutes. But I think the problem is, it was okay. This match was okay. Basically, like Taz was not doing anything. I'll explain more a bit shortly. It was okay for what it is. Basically, Taz was basically taunting towards JR. Says after I beat him, I'm gonna come after you. In the end, Taz trying to lock Jerry the King Lawler with the Taz mission. JR came out of his commentary area and basically smashed a fucking, I think it was a candy jar in the head of Taz, and Jerry the King Lawler got the victory, and Taz was bleeding from the head. And I think this is the first time I see Taz bleeding buckets. You know, you can tell it was sweets or candy, if you're in America. It was a good. I think it was a good win because Jerry wants repetition for what Taz did for his friends. You know, they are friends. You know, JR and the King, they are best friends. You know, because they've been a commentator team for about since 1997. No, not 1997. They've been around since the 90s. You know, as a commentator team. I think they're still friends to this day. And you know, Jerry got his victory, guys. Win for his friend. You know, and yeah, at the time, Taz was not doing anything at this time. It's a damn shame that the company dropped the ball with Taz. I'm sorry, it's true. It's not like right now. It's throughout the whole decades. Every time like a wrestler who's doing well in the outside of the small promotions, outside of the WWF, done well, whether it's a rival promotion or a smaller promotion, they do well, and then they get signed with the WWF, and they're not doing anything. They had no plans for them. It's like Taz. He's a former ECW champion. And then he's got he made his debut. He made his good debut, one of the best debuts in probably top 10 debuts in WWE history. He debuted at Madison Square Garden at the Royal Rumble early that year. He got a win against Kurt Angle. It basically ended Angle's undefeated streak. And then after that, they didn't do nothing for him. It's just really damn shame for Taz. You know, his first and only run with the company, I think Taz as a wrestler in the WWE was mediocre. But as a commentator, he went on to be a good commentator. Not just in the WWE, but in TNA and right now in AEW. So it's a damn shame how Taz never, if Taz came a bit earlier, like 97 or 98, or really like after winning, if he just won the belt, won the ECW. I think he won the ECW title belt in '98. I think it was '98, '99. If he just left in 1999, let me say he didn't debut at the Rumble. If he came back, debuted in 1999, maybe he had bigger plans for Taz. But unfortunately, he came in probably the wrong time. Basically, because the main event slot was already taken, the mid card's been taken. I don't think he might be a world. I could see him being a world champion. If he if he did not retire in 2002, maybe he could have a shot at becoming a world champion. But it's just the timing was wrong, in my opinion. So, anyway, so moving on, and afterwards they had the rematch. I think they had the rematch on a Raw. I've seen a little bit of Brian Zane's review on Taz's career in WWE. I think he had a rematch on a Raw that was introduced Raven to the company. Actually, his return because he debuted in the company in the 90s as Johnny Polo, and then he came back as Raven. I think that was weeks later. Anyway, so moving on to the next match. Next match, that's match number 5. We got Shane McMahon versus the Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman, and this match is for the Hardcore Championship. Basically, this is no build to this. Basically, on the Raw, the go home show to Raw. Basically, Shane McMahon defeats Steve Blackman for the belt after the distraction by Edge and Christian. And I think that they bring this up that Shane, I think it was Shane and at the time the commissioner of the WWF, Mick Foley, basically this really got rid of the 24/7 rule. Yeah, they break back, but I think shortly they just got rid of the 24/7 belt. I don't know why. I don't want to get into it, but anyway, so this was a decent match between Shane and Blackman. It was a really decent match. It was basically interference by almost say Tristan Albert. It's Tessin Albert. Basically, trying to do Shane's dirty work. This match is memorable for that spot. They were basically fighting on a fucking scaffold near the stage, and basically like Blackman's you got Shane climbing off the scaffold, Blackman's climbing on the scaffold, and basically had Steve Blackman grab like a candlestick and starting to hit Shane, trying to knock Shane off, and Shane completely fall off 50 fucking feet he fall off the fucking scaffold. It's like, holy shit, man. I said to myself, How the hell, how the flying fuck is Shane didn't die? Because Shane McMahon takes these fucking crazy bumps, man. This match, I think he did it. It was a bit of deja vu from the pay-per-view against, really the match against the Big Show at Backlash in 2001. The fucking Kurt Angle, you know, he almost broke his neck in that match. You know that. You know, I don't want to get into it. That's another classic WWE pay-per-view review in the near future. And also, like, in recent years, that fucking spots he took that I think it was a diving elbow against the Undertaker at Hell in a Cell match from WrestleMania 32 in 2016. That same you know, his match with Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell 2017 in Owen, yeah, Shane versus Kevin Owens at their Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell 2017. I said to myself, how the fuck Shane never dies, man? I feel like Shane is undefeatable. I starting to, you know, Shane's starting. I really like Shane McMahon because he's just like he's a proper fucking daredevil, man. He, you know, like everything he does turns to gold. He might not be a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler. I don't think he's a terrible wrestler. He's okay. He's good for what it is, but he, you know, you put him in this good environment, he can thrive on that environment. You know, he takes these fucking crazy bumps, man. How the fuck he never dies? How the hell he's not like fucking crippled, completely seriously crippled or die? You know, and then after this, you got Blackman did like a fucking diving elbow into that. I think it was in this padding platform, this black floor, and you know, Blackman defeats Shane and regained the hardcore belt. So it's just like, and you had the scenes like, I don't know, it's real. I know it's wrestling. It's supposed to be scripted, but yeah, it's definitely sounding like Shane's fucking got murdered. Oh my god, man! It's like one of the most craziest bumps in pro wrestling history, and mostly in WWE history. I think it's in the top two. It's that, you know, that bump at SummerSlam, and also Mick Foley's like Hell in a Cell bump at King of the Ring '98 against the Undertaker. You know, it's just one of the craziest fucking bumps you ever saw, man. It's just like, holy fuck. You know, anyway, so that was a decent match, and also, you know, that spot's more moment that was more memorable for that. You know, Shane takes that crazy bump off that fucking scaffold, man. Anyway, so moving on to the next match. The next match, in my opinion, got to be a match of the night. We got the very first TLC match. Tables, ladders, and chairs. We got the tag team champions at the time, Edge and Christian, defending the belts against the Dudleys, that is Barbara Ray Dudley and Devon, and the Hardys, that is Matt and Jeff Hardy. They had a show-stopping, really a show-stealer performance at WrestleMania earlier that year in the triangle ladders match, sorry, at WrestleMania for the belts. So basically, this match was created by Mick Foley, but unfortunately, this is not the first time WWE created this match. It wasn't. I thought, for years, I thought it was WWE created this match concept, you know, the TLC match. It wasn't. The first promotion to create this a match concept was fucking ECW. They did it in 1997. It was called a TC. I think it was called a TC match. No, TL match. Sorry, it's called a TL match. It was basically a tables ladders match, and then, you know, they expired it to do a TLC match, and then yeah, TNA will do it years later. You know, the Full Mayhem match. You know, instead, you know, that was years later. But you know, ECW was the first one done it. They did it at Cyberslam of 1997. And then, you know, it plans the seeds of T1 WWE will do years later of this show, the TLC match at SummerSlam. Anyway, so this was fucking good. I don't want to get, there was too many spots. I don't want to talk about all the spots, but some of them, like one more of the match, had Barbara Ray did like a Bobber Bomb. I don't know if they call it the Bobber Bomb yet. He hit like it was you know, they call it the full Nelson bomb. He did I call it the Bobber Bomb, but you know, Barbara hit the Bobber Bomb onto Christian off the fucking ladder. And then minutes later, they hit the 3D onto Christian through the table, because Christian was wearing he's wearing like a black vest and blue tights. With Edge, he was wearing like the white tights. Minutes later, Jeff Hardy was trying to do like I think he was going for the Swanton Bomb, trying to put, I think it was Devon through the table, but Devon got away at the last minute, and Jeff Hardy went through the fucking table. It was fucking mayhem, told a good story. Like minutes later, you had Edge and Christian was about to win this match, but instead, you had Lita came out, basically knocked Edge and Christian off the fucking ladder. And I thought, like, when Matt Hardy's trying to climb the ladder, I thought the Hardys won it. I wish the Hardys won it, because this is in North Carolina. This isn't. They had the hometown boys. Unfortunately, they didn't. Basically, I think Dudley basically knocked Matt off the ladder. He couldn't reach the ladder. He was about to grab the title, the belt, but instead, Devon knocked Matt Hardy off. He went fucking flying into the tables. And I think Baba did it minutes before that. Edge knocked Baba Ray off the ladder. He went through 4 tables. When I watched this, it kind of reminds me of the TLC match from 1x10 of 2008 match between Edge versus The Undertaker, when Edge pushed Undertaker off the ladder and Taker went flying through 4 tables, sorry, shit. 4 fucking tables. I think it's a throwback, because that match was kind of like a throwback to the very first TLC match on this show, Anyway, so Edge kind of speared Lita afterwards before, Matt. This was after Matt went through the fucking the ladders, not ladders. Man, I'm fucking up on words. The tables. This was minutes after Matt went through the fucking tables. On the other side of the ring, and Edge speared Lita. And basically, I think Edge and Christian knocked Jeff Hardy off because he was dangling, trying to get the belt. Yeah, they knocked him off, and Edge and Christian won the very first TLC match. And really hits me like, because they won the Triangle Ladder match at WrestleMania, they won the TLC match at SummerSlam. They went on to win TLC, they'll have the sequel, TLC 2 at WrestleMania, and Edge and Christian won that match. Basically, they won all 3. Basically, the Triangle Ladder match and the 2 TLC match, basically, truly set all 3 tag teams for life, man. They earn their stripes in the company, because someone will become future world champions, not in WWE, that's Edge, Christian, and Jeff Hardy. And they'll become world champion, like Baba Ray and Matt Hardy. With Devon never won a world title, but Matt Hardy, you can throw the ECW belt at Matt Hardy when he won it in 2008. But like for Baba Ray and Matt will become world champions later years in TNA. They plan to see to become future stars. I think like earn their stripes. I don't know they earned their stripes before, but I think like. This make them like legend household names in tag team wrestling, as Baba Ray, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys in WWE history, like alongside with the LOD, Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, Demolition. I put him in the top 10. Or in the top 20, because they are one of the best. All 3 are one of the best. And really, at the time, the WWF really got an established tag team division, because WCW's tag team division was shit. But in the WWF side, they got the top 3 or the top 4. I'd say top 5. Actually, top 5. Top 5. You got like Edge and Christian. You got Hardys, the Dudleys. You got Trish and I want to say Trish and Albert, Testin Albert, the Acolytes. You can tell they're really got a really established tag team. It's a damn shame how WWE right now don't have an established tag team. It's really a downgrade. It sort of reminds me like 20 years ago they got a really good tag team division, and right now the tag team division involved Raw and SmackDown is shit. Um. Anyway, so I was about to say something. I kind of thought, kind of fucked up, but um. Yeah, I'm gonna move on, man. So yeah, it was this match was match of the night. Oh, I forgot. I forgot one match. Sorry, man. This is deja vu, man. Man. I should have write down this. I should have write down the matches on the card. Oh yeah, no. So you got the forgot the 2 hour free pinfall match. We got Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho. I forgot that match. Shit, man. Forgot. Anyway, so yeah, this is a right. This is a rough. This is a physical rivalry, and also this is like the build of this was a bit physical and funny because yeah, basically like backstage at Benoit attacking Jericho backstage from behind. I think like slammed his ribs into this gate car door thing. You basically had Jericho make fun of Benoit, putting like funny pictures with Benoit head in those random pictures. Anyway, this match was good. This was really good. It's very funny. Like a month prior, at Fully Loaded 2000, Benoit was in the I think it was in the main event of a pay per view for the first time in the World Wrestling Federation. I think it's first time, it would be the first one until many years when he was a world champion. And I think like until I'm not gonna get into it, but anyway, so he was the heel at this time. Jericho was the face. You know, this match was good technical style wrestling. Like the first pinfall was scored by Benoit. Benoit locked Jericho with the I think it was the cripple crossface. And then Jericho, I think he locked him with a wall. I think it was a Walls of Jericho. No, I think it was it wasn't what I think it was. I think it was the I think it was. There's two types of Jericho version of it. He does like the Walls of Jericho, basically like he does like a Boston leg crab, and he does like his old finisher from WC. Oh no, not finisher, but submission hold in WCW. That was the Lion Tamer. Basically, he places his knee into the opponent's neck. I think he did the Lion Tamer onto Benoit, so it's 1-1. It was back and forth. In the end, Benoit really did used basically pinned Jericho with the cradle to score the victory. So it kind of protect Jericho because Jericho won't win his first world title until the end of 2001. But Benoit won't win his first world title in WWE until 2004 because he's already a world champion at this point because he won the WCW belt early that year at Sold Out before leaving the company to go to the World Wrestling Federation to form the Radicals. Yeah, sorry about that. I was kind of like forgotten. You know, I might be wrong about this, but I was forgot. Like shit, I forgot that match, Jericho and Benoit. That was next time I will write down the matches on the card. That'll be my future wrestling reviews, whether it's WWE, WCW, TNA, ECW, or even AEW. I always forgot that match. Like that was because the TLC match that was match of the night. This was one of the bad matches on the show. Benoit and Jericho. Anyway, so moving on to oh boy. Okay, moving on to match number let's see, 5, 6, 7. Match number 7. Match number 7. We got Terry Reynolds versus the Cat in a stink face match. Oh boy. The Cat is, before I get to this match in the piss, be right back. Anyway, so I'm back. So anyway, so yeah, match number 7 we got Terry Runnels and the Cat in a stink face match. Oh boy, yeah, the Cat is the second wife. I'm guessing she is the second wife to Jerry the King Lawler. And yeah, I don't want to get into it. That's a feature. I think that's another feature for another time. I think I might be wrong about this. I think she got Jerry the King Lawler got fired. Because I don't think he got fired. I think he quit. He quit the company in 2001. This was like before WrestleMania 17. And yeah, he came back at Survivor Series at the end of 2001. So I think yeah, she got released. Yeah, she got released in 2001 because she had bad attitude backstage. So yeah, this match sucked in my opinion. Terry, she's not a wrestler, man. She's more in WWF television. She was more like a personality. She was a manager, and then years later in the Ruthless Aggression era, she would become a ring interviewer. But she's not a fucking wrestler, man. She's completely stuck in the ring, same as the Cat. But yeah, it's just sad. It's just really sad. Um, you know, women's wrestling got better right now. Compare like 20 years on. Women's wrestling it's bad because you got good workers. But back then it was all for the eye candy. Actually, I think you got like Trish. Will she'll become a ring general, but you got like I think Jacqueline was gone. Then you got like Jacqueline, you got Lita, you got Molly Holly. It's really you got plenty to see of like wrestlers who will do well, but back that most of them are just there for the eye candy. It's just sad. I'm not a big fan of these bra and panties matches. It's good to see hot women, bikinis. But it's just like something. It's more of a showpiece attraction. It's not like it's just like it's good to. It's more of a piss break match. Most of these matches are piss break matches. They're nothing special, But yeah, this was just a piss break match. Basically, it was nothing. You got like I think on the Cat side. I think on the Cat side you got Al Snow. Almost fucked up his name. And then I think on Terry's side you got almost say Val Venus, but it's Perry Saturn. Sorry, Perry Saturn. Sorry, almost forgot Perry Saturn because I think at the time he was the European champion. Anyway, so the match was piss break match. In the end, the Cat got the victory, gives Terry a stink face, and that's it. It's just like it got women's wrestling got banned 20 years later. Oh yeah. Before I get to the next match, let's go back to the TLC match. The one thing I almost about to say because I fucked up, I was drawing a blank. The one match almost compared. I almost compared to. This is from TLC from 2015. And this one match, because the TLC match was set first of many TLC matches over the years that will do it to this day. The one match had the same quality of match. I compared it to the TLC match from 2015. It was a four-way match. I think it was a four-way match for the tag team belts. There was the New Day, Los Matadores, the Lucha Dragons, and the Usos. That had the same quality. It's a damn shame because you're not going to get it ever again. Because it's a damn shame because mostly you see, if I watch a lot of TLC matches, if it go towards a TLC pay-per-view, mostly I see just tag team TLC matches and single TLC matches. I wish they go back to that. I wish they do one of these days. Hope they do a multi-man tag team TLC match. I think it might not be on the same level as the TLC match from SummerSlam 2000. Yeah, I compared that match from TLC 2015. The four-way TLC match for that tag team belts. New Days, Lucha Dragons, Matadores, and Usos to that match because it's not on the same level, but has that same presence, in my opinion. You got people going to disagree, but I don't really care. But let's move on to the next match. But the next match, we got The Undertaker versus Kane. No build up to this. You had basically Kane basically interfered in Taker's match with Benoit, and then they had an argument on a SmackDown. Yeah, no build to this. I think at this point, the Undertaker-Kane's rivalry lost its oof because it's a damn shame what they did in the '90s because because they had so many matches throughout the years because the first match they have was at WrestleMania 14. They had a match. They had an Infernal match at Unforgiven. They had plenty of matches on Raw. They had a match at Survivor Series, part of that Deadly Games tournament. They had another Infernal match on a Raw in 1999. I covered on one of my. Yeah, I did a review 1 year ago. I did a review. I reviewed the I did 3 parts of I did a DVD review of the Undertaker's Deadliest matches. That was not a good match. And this, it kind of lost its oof and impact. It's mostly brawling. Yeah, this was mostly brawling. This was not a good match. Basically, I say one of the worst match of the show. Basically, like one more of the match. Basically, Taker was trying to rip the mask off of Kane. He ripped a little bit of the mask off, like in the forehead area. Kane, Kane bled buckets. You don't see his face, mostly his forehead. Basically, Taker, I think he speared Kane, took the mask off, and Kane left. You see a little bit of Kane's face. You won't see. It's plain to see years later when Kane managed to take off his mask after losing the match with Triple H on Raw in 2003. Yeah, this was fucking stupid, and Kane just fucked off and left. And this is supposed to be a no DQ match. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I don't understand, man. This is kind of like dumb. And I'm guessing this is the last match until WrestleMania 20. The rematch from WrestleMania 14. It will be in 2004. With these Kane and Undertaker matches, I'm not saying they were bad. There's some bad matches. You got the Hell in a Cell match from 2010 at Hell in a Cell 2010. You got the Buried Alive matches. You had the Nexus interfered at Ragnarok 2010. You had bad matches in 2010. You had some good matches. The 2 WrestleMania matches at WrestleMania 14 in '98 and WrestleMania 20 in 2004. I think it's just Undertaker matches with just one side. It's just like 2 big guys hitting each other. Don't get me wrong, they're good workers. Undertaker's a good worker. Kane's a good worker. Sometimes they had some chemistry. Some of these it's basically a hit or miss. But anyway, so I watched this show on the network. The one thing kind of pissed me off a bit. They kind of dubbed Undertaker's theme music because they played You're Gonna Pay. Because he won't use that theme music for another 2 years. Because mostly I think they got rid of. I think it was originally supposed to be Limp Bizkit, and that was fucking stupid. I think the reason why they won't play that because what Fred Durst did. Because in 2012, Fred Durst gave WWE the middle finger. That could be the reason. I don't know. I think they will get inducted in the Hall of Fame, but I think that could be the reason why they're not going to play it. They really took away Undertaker's original theme music, Limp Bizkit's theme music because of Fred Durst, what he did in 2012. That was fucking bullshit. He just gave WWE the middle finger. I posted it on Facebook. It's like why WWE got pissed off because I'm not going to get into it. Yeah, this was a shit match. Moving on to the main event. The main event, we got a triple threat match for the WWF Championship. We've got The Rock defending the belt against Triple H and Kurt Angle. Unfortunately, this rivalry, because The Rock was kind of like the third wheel, this rivalry is built up towards the love triangle between Triple H, Stephanie, and Kurt Angle. Because I think it was on a Raw, or SmackDown, they had a 6-person tag team match. Triple H, Kurt Angle, and Stephanie taking on the Dudleys and Lita. Triple H and Kurt Angle and Stephanie won that match. At the end, you basically had Kurt Angle and Stephanie hugging. That basically pissed off Triple H. So on a Raw, they decided to do a triple threat match, winning faced The Rock at SummerSlam. It was basically, Triple H, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle, both Angle and Triple H pinned Jericho. So basically, Triple H and Angle will face The Rock at SummerSlam. basically, it's all about, they're both butting heads, costing each other matches. They're on the same page, being down the Rock. Really, they did this good love triangle storyline because Kurt Angle's basically having feelings towards Stephanie on a go home show to SummerSlam on a SmackDown. Basically, I think it was a 6-person tag team match. I think. Basically, yeah, the Angle accidentally knocked Stephanie off the ring. She kind of hit her head. I think it was on the one of the steel steps. And then yeah, Triple H came to the ring, grabbed Stephanie, took her backstage, and then at the end of the match, basically you had Kurt Angle making out, basically kiss Stephanie. It's really bringing this storyline, furthering up the storyline, and I'll really explain it a little bit later. So really, The Rock was kind of like a third wheel because mostly it's building up to this love triangle storyline between Triple H, Stephanie, and Kurt Angle. Unfortunately, the two men started out was Kurt Angle and Triple H. Rock only appeared a little bit later because that is the big storyline towards SummerSlam. It's the love triangle storyline. Anyway, so there was one botch in this match. Triple H and Kurt Angle did not fucked up a move. It's like one more of the match. Triple H was going to hit Kurt Angle with the pedigree on the Spanish announce table. Unfortunately, the fucking ring table broke. It was all of a sudden just broke. That was one of the biggest botch. It wasn't really like a cringeworthy botch. It was basically like just Triple H trying to hit Angle with the pedigree on the announce table, and also the announce table broke. And then, they're selling it like Angle got a concussion. They got the medical team, the paramedics, basically placing Angle in the stretcher. I feel like one more of the match, Triple H trying to attack Angle, trying to hit him with some punches. I thought he was going to tip the stretcher over, but instead he didn't. So, and then minutes later, Rock came. And then throughout the whole bulk of the match was basically like just Rock and Triple H because that's the big feud at the time. Before Angle jumped into the title picture, was really the big two at the time was Rock and Triple H because like I said, Steve Austin's still out with a neck injury. Rock was carried really was the top babyface at the time, and Triple H was the top heel at the company at the time. The other big two, Angle's kind of like not quite there yet, but I will explain. Like I said, I'll explain later. Really, the story, the love triangle storyline played a part in this main event. It was in my opinion, this was a fun main event. It was fun for what it is. Like Stephanie accidentally hit Triple H with the belt. He's grabbed, he's trying to, trips asked Stephanie to grab the belt. He's trying to hit Rock with the belt, but Rock got out of the way because, like Triple H grabbed both the Rock's arms. Stephanie trying to hit the Rock, but instead Rock got out of the way. Stephanie hit Triple H in the head with the belt. Throughout the bulk of the match, Triple H was working on the stomach and the back area of the Rock. I feel like one more of the match, Triple H hit the Rock in the gut with the sledgehammer. And then minutes later, in the ending of the match, basically like. I think like Triple H accidentally clocked Stephanie. I don't think he hits it. I don't think he hit Stephanie with the sledgehammer. I don't think the sledgehammer. Triple H didn't hit Stephanie with the sledgehammer. I think he accidentally hit Stephanie in the face. He was going to hit Angle with in the face, but instead he accidentally hit Stephanie instead. Like I said, this triangle storyline played a massive part in this match. In the end, Angle hit Triple H in the head with the sledgehammer or the face. In the end, Rock got the victory. Hit the people's elbow onto, I think it was on Kurt Angle. No, he threw Kurt Angle out of the ring. In the end, I think he pinned Triple H. But Rock hit the people's elbow onto Triple H to win this match and retain the WWF title. And that was the end of the show. Yeah, the love triangle storyline never lasts because at the following month's pay-per-view at Unforgiven, Triple H defeated Kurt Angle in a no disqualification match with Mick Foley as the special guest referee. Originally, I think the original idea really the original payoff for this rivalry. The original plan is supposed to be like Triple H, Stephanie turns on Triple H, dumps him for Kurt Angle. Unfortunately, Kurt Angle plays some politics. Not Kurt Angle, Triple H plays some politics in this storyline because the storyline was starting to get good. Triple H plays some like rumors like Triple H plays some politics because it's up proclaimed that Stephanie was so uncomfortable for that storyline. So afterwards, the storyline was completely dropped. And then they continued this who's running over Stone Cold storyline in 2000. That's another story for another time. Yeah, one of these days I might do a year review, review of WWE years of that year, because it was a successful year of the company. So I'm fucking stirring, man. I'm stirring like a fucking pig. That's the problem. This is the problem with doing like reviews, long reviews. Sometimes you're trying to remember, trying to say something, and sometimes you sound like Poker Pig. It was I'm going off the topic a little bit. This one cartoon. This is from like fucking like 30s, I think, or 20s. This is a Porky Pig cartoon. He was banging something. I think it was a wood, and he actually banged his thumb with the hammer. It's like, son of a son of a gun. You thought I'm gonna say son of a bitch. That was back then. Right now, if they will not allow swearing unless it's an adult cartoon. Anyway, so what I'm saying. Anyway, so this match was Kurt Angle's first world title picture. It was first title match, I'm trying to say, but it's a damn shame. He left short. I think they protect Kurt Angle in the long run because Kurt Angle will not win the belt until October that year because he defeated The Rock at No Mercy. And 2000 was a good year for Kurt Angle. This was one of his rookie years because he debuted at Survivor Series of 1999. They turned him heel, given an undefeated streak. And then they gift him a massive push. They basically put a massive rocket onto the back of Kurt Angle. Basically, they gift him the Intercontinental title, the European title. Yeah, they dubbed it as the Eurocontinental Championship. And then he won King of the Ring of that year. And then later in the autumn of 2000, he would win his first title, and really broke the monopoly because because this is way better than WCW in 2000 because WCW in 2000 was shit. It was their final full year before they went out of business in 2001. Though because in 2000 they did a lot of title changes of the world title belt, but in the WWF the only title I think they changed it 6 times in my opinion. I think 4 times. I feel like 4 times have been. I've got 4 times between Rock and Triple H. I feel like the WWE champion rather is between Triple H and Rock for the belt. I think Kurt Angle will break the monopoly in October that year. It will hold the belt until 2001 against The Rock in, I think it was February. This was like weeks before WrestleMania 17. Anyways, anyway, I will get to that in the near future. And also it will defend the belt at the Armageddon pay-per-view, including that 6-man Hell in a Cell match. I will do it in December. Review Armageddon 2000. Anyway, so my final rating for SummerSlam 2000, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. This was way better than WrestleMania of that year because WrestleMania was shit. SummerSlam 2000, it was an okay SummerSlam to be honest. Like, it was a tale of 2 tapes. It was tales of 2 halves, I'm trying to say. On one half, there were a lot of good matches. Like, the match of the night has to be the very first TLC match. The main event was good. Benoit and Jericho. And also Blackman, Shane and Blackman. That was a fun match. There were mostly matches were okay. They were not bad, but they're not like, oh my god, I need to watch this again. No, they were okay because I think the problem is there was no build to it. I feel like some of the matches were added to the last minute instead of Lola and Taz because they had some build to it. Because anyway, so the opener, Right to Center versus Too Cool, Road Dogg and X-Pac, Chyna and Eddie Guerrero versus Trish and Val Venis. See. I think that's it. And also, the two bad matches have to be the Cat and Terry. That was just a piss break match, and Undertaker and Kane. That was piss poor. So anyway, so 6 out of 10 for SummerSlam. So anyway, so before I end this, I'm gonna remind you of the videos coming up. Tomorrow I might review WCW Monday Nitro, the very first episode of Monday Nitro, because this week marks the 25th anniversary of the start of the Monday Night Wars and the first episode Nitro. That's on Thursday. Friday, I will do my review of WCW Bash the Beach 2000. And Saturday, I'll do my review, of, not review, but my predictions of AEW All Out. God, I'm fucking up my words. I need to end this very soon. My predictions of AEW 2020. So stay tuned for that. So, and also the rest of September, I will do my reviews of In Your House, because I said to myself, when I gonna do a review of In Your House, because this year marks the 25th anniversary of In Your House. I will do it in the near future. I think I will do it probably at the start of next week. You know, my review of In Your House 1. So that'll be later, really soon, by next week. Stay tuned for that. So anyway, so that's my review of WWF Summerslam 2000. Okay show. Hope you like it. And leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. And also one more announcement. I will do my review. I never got a chance to see the show. I will do my review of Payback of 2020. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, so yeah. Like I said, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, smash the like button, and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Next time in this classic WWE review series, SummerSlam is officially over. It's in the rear view. Summer is officially over. We're in autumn now. I call it autumn because September is the first month of autumn. Fuck October. Some people say October is the first month of autumn. I kind of doubt it. I say September is the first month of autumn because, yeah, you call it late summer, early autumn. But anyway, so I haven't really gone into the late 2000s WWE pay-per-view arcade for a long time. So the last one I did was, I think it was Night of Champions 2008. So we're in the 2008 WWE archive. So let's go into really the first B-rated WWE pay-per-view of the PG era. You know, the first pay-per-view of the PG era was SummerSlam 2020. Not 2008. Sorry. God, I'm fucking man. I need to drink, man. I need to watch TV, man. That's a problem. My brain's turned to mush. The first PG pay-per-view of the first WWE pay-per-view of the PG era was SummerSlam of 2008. So that was the first pay-per-view, the first of the PG era, but the first B-rated pay-per-view, or the first non-Big Four pay-per-view, will be the first non-pay-per-view of the PG era, will be Unforgiven 2008. That'll be the next classic WWE pay-per-view review. Unforgiven 2008, the final Unforgiven of WWE. So this is Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.